you know, there's a lot of builders out there. No, people didn't have to get so mad. I picked some good ones, and maybe I forgot one or two. You know who it is? It's all these cross people racing cross on their Richard Sachs bikes.
Told you shouldn't have left Richard Sachs off the list, Bruce.
You know, I don't know why I'm being punished. It was my personal list of the greatest American frame builders, and there's a lot out there. I can't get them all.
That's true. Hey, let's go check out our warehouse, see what we've got for handmade bikes, and then let's talk to a few people who just love their handmade bikes.
And maybe after that we can take a look at our museum and see some of the OG.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
You can finish cleaning up this bike later. Let's get
Great.
going.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Bruce.
This is Shop Talk.
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Hey, buddy.
Dude, I've been cleaning this thing all morning.
That's good.
Yeah, but you gotta tell me, like, why is it such a big deal that I left Richard Sachs off my great frame builders list?
Oh man, I mean, vintage steel, it doesn't get much better than that, man. It's like, it's art in motion. It has a soul.
What did it feel like to ride?
Well, this is 1983, and it feels sketchy. You know, it's like they don't make them like they used to. You shift thoughtfully, you slow down. You're not going to descend at 45, 50 miles an hour on this bike. You're gonna pedal smoothly and think about the ride and feel every bump in the road. This came in our shop. This is one of the bikes that came in and caught my attention. Obviously, I'd like jumped out of my desk and came down. We actually bought two of these bikes and have both of them here in our museum. Some bikes you just can't let go. This is one of them. And we're actually riding it. It's not sitting in a case. This thing is getting out and getting ridden.
So what is this representing, Sully? Like
It's the passion. It's the passion of an Italian bike.
Yeah, the passion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sully, I know that you're just the Italian bike guy, and that's typically what you ride all the time. But you also have an American handmade bike, or a frame, just kind of sitting around.
Yeah, it's funny
right?
you guys came by actually, because I did have this Eisentraut, limited by Eisentraut, just sitting here by my desk.
So Eisentraut was on Bruce's list.
Yeah,
He
he's
was,
like
yeah.
one of the OG.
Totally. I mean, he was at Marcy back in the day. This is a frame that he built in the 70s, I believe it is. 75, going by the serial number. It's a touring frame. You know, beautiful lug work. What I really love though is these 70s bubble letters.
Those are cool.
Reminds me of the Goodies. I don't know if you Americans ever watched the show The Goodies.
You lost me there, Sully. But tell me about handmade bikes in general. What do you love about?
I mean, I just love something that's been manufactured by someone who's sat there and built it from start to finish with their own hands, and maybe talk to you about it, taking your measurements, filed the lugs, brazed it, sweated on it, thought about it, procrastinated about it. But I just like something that's got like a little bit of a soul, and I feel like these bikes have got a soul, and they've got a ton of stories I could tell you. If this bike could talk, I would probably talk your ear off for an hour and a half.
Why do you prefer Italian bikes?
You're a car guy.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Ford,
I get it.
A Ford GT40 is like a pretty iconic car, but it ain't no Ferrari.
Sully just knows his bikes like nobody else. Whoa! Dude, look. Is that JP's bike? Hey, let's see if this works for you. I think he's in a meeting. This won Best Finish at NABS 2016, the North American Handmade Bike Show.
Yeah, it's all done by hand, it looks like. You just don't get this sort of finish with a mass-produced bike.
Handmade paint. I heard it took 60 hours to do this paint. This is just like, I mean, just beautiful detail. I mean, the vintage handmade stuff is great, but when you come across a modern example like this, it's just a whole different level for me because, I mean, this is a pure performance road bike. It's got great Campy record parts. It's got Envy wheels. This thing rips, I guarantee. But it's a work of art. And not to mention, we got this old Breadwinner sitting around down here. Breadwinner was on your list, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, totally.
I think it was an
Honorable
honorable
mention?
mention. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breadwinners are nice. This is the G-Roads, their gravel bike.
Yeah. And this is a well put together gravel bike.
Well, you know, JP he's a stylish man, so I would expect nothing less.
His bell matches his headset.
There's too many. How can we possibly cover all of these different handmade bikes from our museum?
Well, we got a couple Cunninghams.
Yeah.
So you know, Charlie Cunningham is one of my favorite builders. This is his Racer 22.
Man, this bike is so cool because it's so understated. But there's a lot going on here, isn't there?
Yeah, he was really ahead of his time, messing with heat-treated aluminum. He was doing wider hub spacing in the rear, zero dish rear wheels.
Wow.
He even had some one-by drivetrains, not on this, but you know, he was experimenting.
Yeah, and I also understand that so many little parts on these bikes, like the parts on the brakes, other bits, were all machined by Charlie in his shop.
Exactly.
Really, truly a fabricator. Like,
Yeah, custom, handmade.
yeah, he really pioneered aluminum frame construction. Well, let's find a steel frame, Bruce, because that's a little more along the lines of what people usually think of when they think of hand-built frames. Serrata. It's a great example of a hand-built bike company that was really tied in with the race scene.
Yeah.
So Ben Serrata made a lot of frames for some of the legendary American cyclists of the 1980s.
The 7-Eleven team, later the Coors Light team. He even made the 84 team bikes for the Olympics.
You're right, Bruce. And so many of those bikes, they might say Huffy
Or Murray.
on the top, on the down tube, but no. Those bikes were made by Ben Serrata. And this is Davis Finney's race bike. He's the winningest American cyclist of all time, in fact.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so Serrata bikes carried American cyclists to many victories over the years. And yeah, being as they're hand-built, that just makes it even cooler to me.
All right, Spencer, I've got one last hand-built bike I think you're gonna really like.
What is it?
It is S-Works Tarmac.
Bruce, that's not the point of the video. That's not the point of your article.
So, I don't know. Where do you draw the line? People are laying the carbon fiber in a mold by hand.
Yeah, you do have a point. There is a person behind pretty much any bike out there. And whatever you like, that's great.
Yeah, bikes are good.
Yeah, the steel hand-built bikes are awesome. Specialized S-Works, that's cool too. But we really do want to know. Let us know in the comments what hand-built bikes are your favorite.
Yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you at the next Shop Talk.
At the next Shop Talk?
See you
on the next Shop Talk.
in the next Shop Talk.
See you on the next Shop Talk.
See you over the next Shop Talk.